Good morning, kindergarten class, and welcome to our class for January 7th. Unfortunately, we can't be together, but I thought it might be fun if I brought a few friends here this morning, and some of them you've met already, to join us in our music class. Now, what I was hoping is that each of you would think about what the families of instruments are. We've talked about that before. You will have noticed I sent home a music sheet with you, and it would be really fun for you to color that. Now, most of them are instruments, as you can see, but there's a couple of spots where there's some music notes, so you can color those as well. But I wanted you to make sure that you had a green marker, and I'll tell you why shortly, a blue marker, and a red marker. Because after you've colored all of these in, we are going to circle them according to their family of instruments. So I'm not entirely alone here because I brought some friends with me. Now, I know you were introduced to them way back. I think in September we may have talked a little bit about them. The first one I wanted to introduce you to in the family of instruments, because there's three families we're going to talk about today, is the family of instruments that this guy here belongs to. Who remembers this guy? Do you remember who he is? He is Waddy Wind. And in his family, what are the instruments that are in your family? Oh, instruments that take wind to make a sound. Now, if you've been outside over the last little while, but a couple weeks ago, we had a crazy amount of wind that was blowing. And if that wind had been tunneled through anything, you would have heard a sound, because wind creates sound when it tunnels through different items. We're talking about wind tunneling through instruments and making sound. So I think that we should hold up maybe one of our wind instruments. So I have some pictures here, okay? And this is the one wind instrument. Look at that. So what happens? Now I'm going to get you to hang on to that if you don't mind. There's the mouthpiece that is blown through. And the sound travels all the way around here, and then eventually out that big horn part. And this is one of the horn instruments. And by blowing in it, you can create different sounds. There's also other little knobs that happen right there. Do you see a number of them that you push in and out? And they create the pitch of the sound. So they lengthen it or they shortened it, right? So when you took, say, a tube of different lengths, maybe a wrapping paper tube or a paper towel tube or a toilet paper roll, those are different lengths. So the sounds would change depending how much length. Am I right, Waddy Wind? Good. So what I'm hoping that you'll do is, you see how the bottom of his shirt is green? If you will grab a green marker, and after you've completed all the coloring, I want you to circle any of the instruments on your sheet there that are part of Waddy Wind's family. So you'll have green. So remember, Waddy Wind wears a green pair of pants here, and use green to circle whichever instrument on here is part of the family. And we will talk about that next time we get together. Now, he's not the only family member that's here today with me. I also want you to see who remembers who this guy is. Oh, let's pull that down. There you go. Should I tell them who you are? Do you want to tell them? Oh, are you a little shy? Oh, okay. Okay, Sammy. It's all right. This is Sammy String. Is that right? Yes. And Sammy String belongs to the family of instruments that create sound by pulling strings and having strings resonate and sound. So a perfect example of one is right here I have. Is this right? Yes. That's a violin. And if you have the bow that goes across, it makes the strings, shake just like Sammy's string is. And that creates a beautiful sound. So that's part of the Sammy String family. Now, because his shirt is blue, I'd like you to take a blue marker and circle any of the instruments on our color page that are string instruments, okay? All right, so that's what you're going to do with Sammy String. Does that sound, did I introduce that right? Okay. All right, let's put Sammy down. And I have one more member of our family here, of our music family. And, oh, just a minute. I think he hid away. Oh, there he is. And this is Sammy String. This is Petey Percussion. Sorry, Sammy. Sammy's lying down here. Petey Percussion, he was a little bit away right at the moment. He was hiding down here on me, so I had to pick him up. He was probably just drumming away. Do you like music? Oh, yeah. You see, he's got the crazy hair, and he loves anything that is percussion instruments. Percussion instruments are instruments that require some sort of force against them to make a sound. So I know we'd handed out lots of pictures. Probably the most common percussion instrument is this. And this is a drum. So by taking your drumstick or even your hand, you hit the pad of the drum and it creates a sound. So that's another part of our family that Petey Percussion is head of. So what I want you to do, pardon me, is to grab a black marker, because he's got crazy black hair. And I want you to take your sheet here. And I want you to circle any of these instruments that are part of Petey Percussion's family. So you've got quite a few choices here, okay? All right. So let's just review quickly. For waddy wind, use green. Circle any of those that are green that are wind instruments. For string, use the blue for Sammy String. And finally, Petey Percussion, use the black to remind you of his hair. Pardon me. Here's your worksheet to use all the different instruments, color them all in, then circle them in the proper colors. Green for wind, blue for string, black for percussion, and next week we'll talk about this together. Have a great week. Bye-bye.